Hi and welcome to Weekly Market Update. It is Monday the 18th of November 2013. Okay, so in terms of news over the weekend, and we've obviously seen China's government coming out and introducing some new government pledges. Firstly, in terms of the investment, they're looking to encourage private investment into state-owned industries, and we've also seen them looking to relax that one-child policy that they currently have in China. This news has sort of been boosting the Chinese stocks and the Asian stocks in particular in the Asian session and over the weekend. So some positivity there. This morning, in terms of data from Europe, have been very light. Just saw some Eurozone trade balance and also current account data. So where that leaves us sort of trading today, we've got the FTSE around the 6711 spot 82 mark. Then we've got the Dow traded around 96 one. In terms of currencies, we've got the euro around 1 spot 35.10 and then cable around 1 spot 61.12. For commodities, still seeing that sort of downtrend following into today. Gold future around 1283 spot 70 and then the crude future around 94 spot 17. That's the January one that we're seeing as the active contract now. So in terms of data this afternoon, only tick flows really out of the US, so quite a quiet session today. Into tomorrow, the main focus of the day is going to be the ZEW surveys that we see out of the Eurozone and also Germany. I'm expecting some positivity from the data there. So the current situation reading, expecting that around 31 from 29.7, and then for the expectations, expecting those to tick up to 54 from 52.8. So looking for some good data there. Also tomorrow afternoon, we get the US employment cost index as well. So again, not too busy session tomorrow. The focus will be on that sentiment survey out of Europe in the morning. Into Wednesday, to start us off, we've got the German PPI readings. That's the PPI, the inflation reading. Expecting that at flat from 0.3 month over month, and then negative 0.6 from negative 0.5 last for the year on year. So still seeing sort of a softer picture in terms of inflation. It's seeing that sort of in Europe and also across the US, as we'll see from the data we're expecting there. From the UK on Wednesday, we only see the Bank of England minutes. Those normally would be quite closely watched, but probably a bit of a non-event, not expecting too much from them after we saw the quarterly inflation report last week. That seemed to tell us quite a bit about what we're expecting to see from the Bank of England going forward in terms of policy, and maybe their revisions of expectations in terms of unemployment and of course inflation. So people will be watching out for the minutes on Wednesday, but probably not expected to do anything too market moving. From the US in the afternoon, we've got retail sales, expecting those at flat from down 0.1%, so a slight increase and improvement there. Then we get the US CPI data, so consumer price inflation data, expecting that flat from 0.2% month over month and 1% from 1.2 year over year. So as I mentioned, just that softening of inflation data that we're seeing from the US and the Eurozone. And also the UK, we saw that last week, readings just coming in slightly softer. Wednesday evening, we get the release of the FOMC minutes from the meeting on the 29th and 30th of October. So those are going to be quite largely watched. People looking again for the detail in what we saw from the minutes, particularly in terms of votes. So any detail that might give us some clues there from the Fed. Into Thursday, that's probably the biggest day for some Eurozone data. We're getting PMI and manufacturing and services readings. From France, expecting that manufacturing reading is still going to be below the all-important 50 mark, but expecting it to increase 49.5. Services expected at 51. For Germany, looking for some improving data again, expecting it at 52 from 51.7 for manufacturing, and then services expected around 53 from 52.9. Then we'll get the readings from the Eurozone as a whole. Again, looking for improvement here, but only slightly ticking up, but again, all improvement is welcome. 51.5 for services, 51.9 for 51.5 for manufacturing, 51.9 for services, and then for the composite reading, expecting that at 52. Also from the Eurozone, we'll get consumer confidence in the afternoon, expected at negative 14 from negative 14.5, so expecting some improvement there. From the UK, we get public sector net borrowing data in the morning, expecting just a slight fall in that. From the US in the afternoon, we get the usual initial jobless and continuing claims. Initial jobless expected at 335 and the continuing claims at 2870. And then we get producer price inflation data from the US, expecting that down 0.2% for the month from down 0.1 and 0.3% for the year over year. So again, inflation coming in softer. And then in the afternoon, or following that from the US, we get the Philadelphia Fed index, and expecting that to actually fall to 16 from 19.8. So looking for some real weakness coming in there. Finally, into Friday, from Eurozone, we're going to get the German Q3 GDP reading. It's just a final reading and expecting that to confirm what we've already seen, so 0.3% for quarter-on-quarter and 0.6% year-over-year. We then get the IFO survey index from Germany following the ZEW on Tuesday. Again, it's looking for some strength in the IFO numbers. Business climate expecting that to increase to 107.7. Current assessment is expected up to 111.5. Again, it's only a marginal increase that we're looking for, but we have seen current assessment being the figure that sort of wavered. People consistently looking for better expectations and better business climate, but sometimes the current assessment has sort of surprised to the downside, but we are looking for some strength there this time, alongside expectations, which were expected at 104 from 103.6. And then otherwise, in terms of data, we've only really got the Italian retail sales, expecting those at 0.1 from flat, so hopefully a slight improvement. And we'll also get that LTRO report from the ECB of what will be repaid next week. But otherwise, no data out of the UK or the US for Friday, so a quiet start and end to the week, really. Okay, that's it for this week. As usual, any feedback much appreciated.